And welcome to the second season of Oddity Archive, now filmed in semi-stunning HD. HD, so you can see every dent, every flaw, every crevice in my cardboard box. I mean, you're just gonna love it. Oh, who the hell am I kidding? You're probably asking yourself, why'd you do it, Ben? Why'd you sell out? Well, it was cheaper. I mean, we're always broke around here, as you well know. And tapes aren't getting any easier to come by, and they sure as hell aren't getting any cheaper. So for what amounted to about 4 months worth of our regular tape budget, we were able to go HD. So there. Anyway, like I said, first episode of the new season, and it just so happened that it fell on the 4th of July. So I figured we should probably try and do something at least semi-patriotic today, and indeed we are. Today, we look at that great American cash-in, the 1976 Bicentennial. We might have to look at that one a little closer later on. Starting as far back as the Nixon administration, the US government was already contemplating how they were going to celebrate the bicentennial, but nobody could really agree on how to tackle such a thing. Sound familiar? In the end, all that really came of it were a couple of bad government films, are there any other kind? And of course, the ever-loved Bicentennial Quarter. But the government didn't need to worry. Local entities, and especially private business, took care of it all, hence the meat of today's show. Just after Independence Day of 1975, a veritable rash of bicentennial products, if you will, flooded the marketplace. You had bicentennial plates, bicentennial glassware, bicentennial flatware, bicentennial headwear, bicentennial albums, bicentennial porn, bicentennial cars, bicentennial syrup, bicentennial Pez dispensers, bicentennial vacuum cleaners. I mean, seriously, Eureka actually made a special bicentennial model vacuum cleaner. The Bicentennial has proven to be something of a goldmine for outsider music aficionados. Amateurs across the land were so moved by the occasion that the song poem industry, send us $500 and we'll turn your words into a song, enjoyed a nice healthy spike in business around this time.
Freedom of the evening, they were to be set free. There was but one flag, the red, white, and blue. Liberty and justice was decreed for me and you.
But better yet, are you familiar with the break-in subgenre of novelty records? These are records in which bits of recordings of hit songs are placed into the new context of a comedy record. Now, the king of this genre, the late Dickie Goodman, was inexplicably out of commission in 1976, opening up the doors for a host of even worse imitators.
General George Washington has been appointed first President of the United States. Mr. President, how do you like your new job? Do you have much time for recreation?
Can't get no rest. Don't know how I work all day.
Hey, now you got things swinging, Ben. What are we going to be drinking?
Good Kentucky whiskey.
All right. Say, Ben, what have you invented lately?
My Chevy van.
That's fantastic, Ben. How do you do it?
Ho, 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 it's my day.
George, what's that you're drinking? And tell me, what inspired you to start this revolution? Who have you recruited for your army?
And when did you realize that something was wrong at the harbor?
The man in the back said everyone attack and it turned into a ballroom blitz.
But Lieutenant Bingo, you still haven't answered my question. How could this have happened while you were in charge?
I got stoned and I missed it. I got stoned and I missed it.
And the thought of loving you is getting so exciting. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
I think the greatest musical atrocity of the Bicentennial did not come from the Starland vocal band, though they most definitely sucked, but instead came from a bunch of leftovers from the 60s counter-culture movement. I'm talking about Up With People.
I recognize people I never noticed before. Up with people, you meet them wherever you go. Up with people, they're the best kind of folks we know. If more people were born, up with people, you meet them wherever you go.
Whereas the conservative folk music movement was strictly a grassroots effort, Up With People was the movement's corporate equivalent. Companies such as Halliburton, General Motors, and ExxonMobil, for some reason, apparently really feared the 60s subculture, to the point where they felt compelled to invest millions in Up With People. All members of Up With People, all between the ages of 18 and 25, attended a semester of the namesake's quote-unquote college in Denver. Certainly would explain a lot about this place. Anyway, armed with everything they would ever need to know about love, honesty, purity, and unselfishness, but alas, nothing about music, groups of these folks would get sent out on tour to preach the good word. Somebody, apparently higher than Benjamin Franklin's kite, decided Up With People was just the right thing to get everybody into the bicentennial spirit at the 1976 Super Bowl.
Speaking of parties, America's celebrating her 200th birthday, which isn't very old compared to the ancient civilizations of Asia, Africa, and Europe.
And we intend on keeping it that way.
Others say we've got a long way to go.
Let me get out of here, I don't want to hear these people, no! Sit down and shut up. You will like this group. A very old child.
Growing like a weed, kinda rock, kinda wild. And someday she's gonna be quite a lady.
Suddenly I'm for abortion. The Illuminati symbol! Or is that just a sideways 200?
In here for the Greeks of 30 centuries, and the British aren't quite sure. The Austrians couldn't tell ya, 'cause they forgot to keep score.
Somewhere the Schoolhouse Rock people were laughing their asses off.
No more 200 years.
Over the course of nearly 50 years and at least 20 albums, Up With People have performed in front of some 5 million people and whose records have sold in excess of 11 copies.
Kinda rough, kinda wild, and someday she's gonna.
Hey, wait, what are they making there? Is that a hospital sign? Are they trying to tell us something?
3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
Oh, Leif Garrett, how could you?
9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Good.
Yes, it's that hot new dance craze, the St. Vitus.
When the clock strikes 1, we're gonna rock around the clock.
And the Charlie Brown kids just love to get down with their bad selves.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock and roll.
Okay, well, at least we don't have to hear them sing for a little bit. Or, I guess they're not all bad. Oh. Sit down and shut up. Is it just me, or does this whole thing play out like a big multicultural toothpaste commercial? Even John Denver thought this rendition was just a little too white. Whoa, they gave up on that one fast. Yeah, let's just piss on another classic. I mean, we're already here. We can only hope.
And here we are, only a couple of centuries from where it all began.
people just aren't going to be happy until they rape every 70s pop classic. They do know Elton John's British, right? Wait, are they trying to form the World Cup? That's English football, you idiots! Oh wait, never mind. It's the Liberty Bell upside down. Somehow I'm not surprised. And while you recover from this little bit of ear rape, we're gonna take a little commercial break. We'll be right back.
At our past and to move forward together into our future. These bicentennial minutes have focused attention on all aspects of the birth of our nation.
A ubiquitous bit of the television watching experience in 1976 involved what was known as the Bicentennial Minute. Every day, a nice simple little This Day in History tidbit pertinent to the American Revolution, usually a rather grim tidbit at that, would spring up every night during prime time. Unfortunately, few people had VCRs at the time, and only 3 of these have surfaced on the internet, only one of which is fully intact.
Patriots met there to denounce British tyranny. Then the British came with axes to chop the living symbol down. An onlooker described their glee. He said, after a long spell of laughing and foaming with malice, they cut down a tree because it bore the name of liberty. The Liberty Tree yielded 14 cords of wood, but one redcoat, hacking away at a high branch, slipped and fell to his death. The Liberty Tree died, but not without a struggle.
So with that, I'd like to try my hand at a bicentennial minute. Here goes. Start the tape, will you, Ed? Hi, I'm Ben. And on this day in 1776, forgotten statesman Samuel Wilson gave himself a nasty paper cut while trying to sign the Declaration of Independence. Foolishly, Wilson used his pen to try and stop the bleeding. Unsurprisingly, Wilson contracted blood poisoning and died 3 days later, having never signed the document. And that's the way it was. That wasn't anywhere near a minute, was it? These historic minutes are sponsored by Shell Oil, because nothing says patriotism more than Saudi Arabian oil. Whoa. Maybe I shouldn't have had that bicentennial bottle of 7-Up. You'll just have to take my word for it. Wow. You know, I think I'm finally starting to get into the bicentennial spirit. Where's that film we were gonna watch earlier? Hey, the Allman Brothers. 2 Double D? What the hell's that? Yeah, I definitely should not have had that bottle of 7-Up. Okay, who's been cutting up the flag again? It's really disrespectful. Ah! Can't get away from the damn clowns, can I? Oh well, this is some pretty cutting-edge stuff for 1968. Wait, what do you mean this is from 1975? Typical government, always 2 steps behind. Did you know that the government spent a then record-breaking $850,000 on this production? $840,000 of which was spent on breeding psychedelic toads for licking during the production process. Oh, even the American Gothic guy's been psychedelicized. Should have happened a long time ago. How did I get here? What am I doing here? Oh, sweet, I can shapeshift. And after a quick costume change, he's back. Ah, Illuminati again! I like how the Founding Fathers are rolling their eyes at this little tribute. Never mind all the scientific and technological innovation, never mind the humanitarian stuff. It's hot dogs that make this country great, and don't you dare forget it. And now, a CBS special presentation. I want to make a recycle symbol. No, I want to make a star. I want to make a recycle symbol. I want to make a star. Hey, stop moving. Stop moving. Bicentennial, the centennial that goes both ways. End, yes, end, thank you. Ah! Liar. Great. What? I can't read it. Stop that. Stop that effect. I can't read it. Stop that effect. I can't read it. And that's it for this episode of Oddity Archive. Join us next time as we go looking for a little afternoon delight.
Sky rockets in flight.
Oh yeah, this is my jam, folks. Oh, who am I kidding? I hate this song. You can turn it off now. Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!
Started out this morning feeling so light. I always thought of just a young called who didn't fight. But you got some beta waiting and I think I might like Neville in a little afternoon delight. Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight. Afternoon delight.
WJET-TV Channel 24 is an equal opportunity employer. Members of minority groups are invited to apply.
Freedom bells ring out across the land as we celebrate our nation's 200th anniversary. Happy birthday, America.